Shalom, this is GMS Holland Sit Downs coming back with a lesson. First off and foremost, I would like to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone, GMS, for teaching us his truth. Peace and salutations to the elect out there spreading this word of sincerity and truth. God, this is a news update concerning the pestilences, which is about to come to this place, which is gonna devour people, especially the wicked, mainly the wicked, better yet. And this is a news update wherein you see China has found a potential pandemic virus, which can cause the whole world to go in chaos, and the UK wants it. So this is blacklistednews.com, and this article came from Telegraph. It says China ignores UK request to share samples of flu virus with pandemic potential. Request by UK experts to Chinese authorities for samples of the latest strain of a dangerous and evolving avian influenza virus known as the H7N9 have so far been ignored, the Telegraph has learned. Which is a good thing, man, because if a virus like that comes in the hand of the wicked, which are the so-called white people, which are known in the Bible as the Edomites, if how do you say that, if this virus falls into their hand, they're gonna use it upon the people, man, and cause this pandemic to take place. The news, which is actually prophecy, so it has to come to pass anyway, but this is just to show you that things are happening economically, concerning the trade wars, Europe falling apart, Europe going against America, race wars are popping off, and then you also have the bionic warfare, which is the pestilences. So it says the news comes on the back of revelations earlier this week by the United States government that China has for over a year refused its request to share lab samples of the same strain of avian influenza virus. To date there have been 1,625 cases of H7N9, a virus which usually circulates a poultry in humans, including a spike in cases in 2017, which has prompted U.S. researchers to request samples of the virus from Chinese authorities. The virus is thought to be only few mutations away from being able to spread freely in humans, and was said by the England Deputy Chief Medical Officer Jonathan Van Tan earlier this year to be likely candidate for the next global flu pandemic. Hey, this is some crazy news, man. So let's take a look at what might be the reason that China doesn't want to give it. The reason China doesn't want to give it is because it can be used against it. And through the spirit, it's really through the spirit, man. The Farlex Dictionary, free dictionary. This is the app, and like it says over here, word of the day. And it popped up in my screen. And basically it reminded me, like, hey, let's check out the news today, because the scriptures speak about the Edomites being the wicked. If you read Malachi 1 and 4, you're gonna see that Edom is the border of wickedness, against whom the Lord has indignation forever. Indignation meaning righteous anger, forever. So it made me think about that. So then I was like, let me see what the news has to say about these Edomites today. So I found the article, and that's how the spirit hopped on me. So,
villainous.
extremely wicked, you know, extremely wicked. So there are two reasons China doesn't give these samples of this flu, which can become a pandemic, is because it can be used against them. Biowarfare, which biowarfare, let me read it to you for the people that don't know what biological warfare is. Biological warfare, BW, also known as germ warfare, and the use of biological toxins or infectious agents such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi with the intent to kill or incapacitate humans, animals, or plants as an act of war. You see, so China is not stupid, man. China is working together with Russia. So why in the flying fuck would they give this sample of this virus to America and to England? That's just, America thinks they're stupid. You know, Moab, which is the so-called Chinese people, they ain't stupid, man. You know, they know that this flu can be used against them. This H7N9, I believe it was. Let me double check it. This H7N9, H7N9. So China is not stupid, man. Slovakia. So where was I? Yeah. Animals and plants is an act of war. Biological weapons, often termed bioweapons, biological threat agents or bioagents, are living organisms or replicating entities, viruses, which are not universally considered alive. You know, these viruses are being created in the lab, man. They are being created in laboratories to be set free for certain purposes, depopulation. That's why they are creating these viruses and injecting their own people with the antivirus, so that when it spreads, their own people are not affected by this. And you have multiple movies, World War Z, I believe. Yeah, let me see if I have some pictures. This is a very good movie that shows you a pandemic or epidemic. I think it's quite the same thing, but okay. But you know, all these people are infected, so-called zombie virus. But then you have one girl. Let me see. They have one girl that's not that's immune. Well, they don't have a picture from it, but for the people that know this movie, you know, there's this moment that I believe they're running on the Chinese wall, and there's this one little boy or little girl. These zombies don't see him because he has this antivirus in his body, which basically makes him invisible to the eyes of these zombies, or unattractive. So that's what these so-called white people want to inject themselves with. But the other people, they want to inject with the virus itself. You know, if you watch the interview of what's this dude's name, Bill Gates, he speaks about that vaccinations are important to depopulate humanity. You know, how do you depopulate humanity real quick? By sending out a virus you know, that kills off people with a certain gene that you don't want to have around, that you basically want to exterminate, or blood groups or whatever. So China ignores the UK and America for this flu sample. So like I said, one of the two reasons is because biological warfare. It's like in the beginning I said bionical warfare, but I mean biological warfare. And like we just saw, because they are villain. What was it?
Villainous.
They are villainous. They are the wicked. They are extremely wicked, and the so-called Chinese people know that, man. They know that these Edomites are extremely wicked. They know that these so-called white people, which are descendants of Esau, you know, because you have so-called white people that are descendants of Jacob, you know, so it's not a color thing. And if you're spiritual, you might understand that it's not a color thing. It's a nationality thing. If you descend from Esau, Edom, you are descendant from the wicked, and you wicked yourself. You know, however you want to turn it, how nice you seem to be. When these so-called white people pulled up to the Native Americans, they was acting nice too. You know, that's why the scripture says, "Never trust an enemy, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness." You know, it will pop up eventually, man. You know, people that used to hang around with so-called white people, they know this, man. They are nice until a moment comes and he will basically stab you in the back. You know, just like what they did with the Native Americans. So my point is, these Chinese people, they know who they're dealing with. So they are not gonna give this virus that is potentially gonna be able to cause a pandemic, you know. But the pandemic itself is scriptural, man. This is Matthew chapter 24 verse 7. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." So it says there shall be pestilences too. There shall be pestilences. A pestilence, a pestilent fellow, pest, a plague. You know, a plague. There shall be plagues. So that's all prophecy, man. Like it says here in Ezekiel chapter 14, "For thus said Yahweh the Most High, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and famine." You know, the sword, these missiles, people killing each other. The famine, people starving to death. And the noisome beasts, and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. You know, that destruction is gonna be used to cut people off, man. Before the great and notable day, you know, things like this are gonna come to pass. Pestilence is famine, you know, and noisome beasts. And the Apocrypha speaks about newly created beasts, man. You're gonna have animals out there devouring people, you know, believe it or not. So pestilences, sicknesses, plagues are gonna be out there, spread. Only think about this, man. The sewers. If the company that runs these sewers, runs water through these sewers, stop pumping, then the water is gonna become stagnated. So if you live in the city, you're gonna be surrounded by stagnated water, which is full of feces, pee, and puke, period blood. Whatever goes down the toilet is in that water and will come up if it is stagnated for more than a week, maybe earlier. You know, because if there's a big storm and the water comes up, hey, it's gonna smell quick, and with this smell, with these bacteria, sicknesses come. So the sicknesses will spread very quickly, especially in the city, which is also prophecy. Let me see. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Exactly, because in the city you're gonna starve. In the city you don't have no food, you don't have no trees, you don't have no fruit, you don't have no vegetables, you know. So in the city you're gonna starve. Then the pestilence is gonna be in the city, because the sewers, you got the sewers there, you got the trash there, you got masses of people defiling it by all kinds of ways. So the sicknesses are gonna be in the city, you know. And if you go into the woods, you're gonna have people looking for your life, or protecting their own lives, and taking your life, man, you know. So going back to Ezekiel 14, Ezekiel chapter 14 verse 22, because the flip side is that there's of course going to be a remnant that's going to be saved out of it, you know. Ezekiel 14 and 22, yet behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. Behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it. You know, so there's going to be a remnant that is not going to be touched by these sicknesses, by these pestilences, like it says here. Psalms 91 and 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. Yeah, the pestilence that walketh in darkness. It's a pestilence, a sickness, bacteria you won't see. Basically, the pestilence is in the darkness. It's invisible. You don't know that you walk in an area where a heavy virus is being spread. You don't know that, you know. But you don't have to be afraid of that. If you a man of the Lord, if you are a person that walks in the way of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you don't have to be afraid of the pestilences, nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. You see? So the elect is not going to be touched by these pestilences, by these sicknesses, you know. But then you got certain people, they want to talk boldly, they want to talk shit, they are scoffing and scorning, you know, they are hating you for Yahushai's namesake, because you're teaching this truth. They're hating you. Guess what's gonna happen with these people, man? The 4 sword destructions that are named in Ezekiel chapter 14, they will fall upon them, man. And even in Isaiah, it speaks about that the Lord will cause you to be devoured by your own delusions. So the things that you fear the most, hey, with that, the Most High is gonna destroy your ass, man. You know. So keep scorning, keep laughing at the man of the Lord, keep mocking them. You know, it's for your own destruction, man. And the Most High is reserving you for the day of destruction. So it says, but it shall not come nigh thee. You know, and that day shall be known who are my chosen, because the Most High is gonna send these pestilences by the hand of the wicked. You know, by the hand of these heathens, He's gonna send out these sicknesses, because they have the viruses, they have the samples in their lab. It only has to be set free. So by their hand, the Most High is gonna cause these pestilences to be out there, and in those days, the man of the Lord are gonna walk around with food, and are gonna walk around having no sicknesses whatsoever. You know, so Esau wants to be that little boy or little girl in that movie World War Z, that is immune to the sickness, that is immune to the naked eye of these zombies. The so-called white people want to be that, but the Lord is gonna put the spirit upon the elect, that they are gonna be the ones that are not gonna be touched. You know. Verse 8: only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, because this destruction that's gonna come is to basically punish the wicked and set up the righteous in their place where they have to be, and that they can rule this kingdom in righteousness under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the 12 apostles, and King David, of course, and be of the 144,000. You know, so China ignores UK request to share samples of flu. You know, but eventually they will come up with the flu themselves, sicknesses themselves, and it's going to be spread out there because it's prophecy. It has to come to pass. You know, so with that, I want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, Shalom to the elect.